If you're struggling with growing your podcast, I'm going to be really direct with you for a minute. It's likely because the messaging around your show is weak. It's the biggest miss that we see when we're working with podcasters on their growth accelerator strategy. Okay, so what do I mean by that? Well, when promoting and marketing your podcast, especially in social media, we have a really big tendency to overestimate the number of people who know what our podcast is about and underestimate the number of people that we could possibly reach if they knew what our podcast was about. So, if you want to strengthen the messaging around your podcast, there are three simple things that you can do. One, you got to hook your audience. So the next time you go to promote your podcast, you've got to be thinking first, what's in it for them? Not just, hey, new podcast episode out, or hey, take a listen to our new podcast, or hey, we just launched a podcast. Okay, all of that is fun and exciting to you, but actually doesn't translate in any way as a hook as to why anybody would want to spend the biggest asset that they never get back, which is their time with you. So hook your audience with really exciting, strong messaging. Talk about the pain points that you solve. If your podcast is a way to help busy physicians get fit in a short amount of time because it's the only time that they have, talk about why your podcast does that. If your podcast is something that is going to be transformative to entrepreneurs who are trying to get their businesses off the ground because you have the magic secret sauce for new entrepreneurs starting out, talk about that. Talk about what's in it for the listener to invest their time to consume your content. And when you're doing that, take that hook and then provide them the three really specific points as to why that's going to work for them. So let's use that physician example. Busy physician feeling fatigued and out of energy. This episode is going to get your energy back in 5 minutes or less a day. It's going to help reinvigorate the way you feel about healthcare. And three is going to be the only thing that you need to do is just to show up. And this episode will make a difference in your day starting today. Those are valuable takeaways for a busy physician who needs to get re-energized and needs their energy back. And then the third step is to make sure that you have a very, very clear call to action so that you can continue the conversation with this said busy physician so that they can then work with you, learn more about your products and services, find out if you have an online program that maybe this one episode has really gotten them fired up about possible changes they could make that could be transformative for them. But what's next? So make sure that call to action isn't just rate and review my podcast on Apple Podcast, but is even more specific that says, if you're fatigued and overworked and exhausted and need some encouragement and support, sign up for my newsletter and we'll give you daily motivational tips every day in your inbox. What a big difference. And that is truly the difference between weak messaging and not engaging your audience and strong messaging and growing your audience.